You spent 3 years building something beautiful, a career everyone admired, a life that finally made sense. You were good at it, really good. You had the systems, the expertise, the respect, the morning routine that actually worked. Even that coffee from the workplace machine tasted right, and then one day you walked away from all of it. Not because it failed, not because something better came along. You walked away because staying felt like dying. And here's what nobody tells you. This wasn't the first time, and it won't be the last. You've done this before. Different castle, same pattern. You build something meticulous and complete, live in it fully, then leave the entire world you created and start over somewhere else. And the worst part? You can't even explain why. Not to others, not even to yourself. If you're a deep intuitive, one of those introverted types like INFJ, INTJ, INFP, or INTP, who navigate life through highly functional intuition, I'm about to name something you've lived but never understood. In this video, I'll show you why you operate on completely different life cycles than most people, what you're actually building when you create these elaborate worlds, and why leaving them isn't failure. It's your methodology for extracting wisdom from existence itself. And by the end, you'll stop asking what's wrong with you and start understanding who you actually are. Let's begin. Let me describe your life and you tell me if I'm wrong. You don't just change jobs. You change entire identities. You don't just pivot careers. You leave complete worlds behind. The industry, the city, the friend group, the version of yourself that existed there. You've been the ambitious entrepreneur, then the artist, then the academic, then something else entirely. Each time you didn't dabble, you went all in. You built real expertise, real relationships, real structures. And each time, after a few years, maybe 3, maybe 5, sometimes 7, sometimes even less, rarely slightly more, if you really pushed it, you felt that familiar restlessness, that knowing, that sense that this castle, no matter how beautiful, has taught you everything it can teach you. So you left. Again. And people around you couldn't understand. But you were so good at it. You were almost at the top. Why would you throw that away? You tried to explain, but the words never came out right. Because deep down, you wondered if they were right. Maybe you are just afraid of commitment. Maybe you are running from success. Maybe there is something wrong with you. Here's what makes this pattern so painful. You're not flaky, you're not lazy, you're not afraid of hard work. When you build with precision. You learn every detail, you master the craft. You create something others would be proud to spend a lifetime building. That's what makes the departure so confusing. You're not leaving because you failed. You're leaving because you succeeded. You extracted what you came for. But society doesn't have a word for that. So you get labeled as inconsistent, uncommitted, unable to finish what you start. And the worst part? You start to believe it. You watch your peers from other personality types settle into their one castle, their career, their identity, their life structure, and stay there for decades. They seem content, stable, successful in ways you can't seem to achieve. And you wonder, why can't I just be normal? Why can't I just pick something and stay? Here's what nobody told you. You're operating on a completely different timescale than most people. Developmental psychologists like Erik Erikson and Daniel Levinson mapped human life in major cycles, roughly 20 to 25 years between major life transitions driven by existential crises. Early adulthood crisis around 20, midlife crisis around 40, retirement crisis around 60. Old age crisis, around 80. These are the natural rhythms of human development for most people, but deep intuitives. You're not driven by existential crises. You're driven by something completely different, and understanding what that is changes everything. Your cycles are shorter, much shorter. Whether that's 3 years, 5, 7, or somewhere in between, the exact number varies, but the pattern is clear. Compressed time, accelerated development. What takes most people an entire lifetime to build once? One career, one identity, one complete structure. You build, inhabit, complete, and move beyond multiple times. You're not broken, you're not immature, you're not commitment phobic, you're operating on a completely different fuel. And once you understand why, everything changes. But first, let me show you what you're actually building, because it's not what you think it is. Let me give you a metaphor that will change how you see your entire life. Imagine you're not building just any structure. Some of you build temples, places of meaning, spiritual homes, philosophical systems. Others build castles, fortresses of knowledge, elaborate defense systems, intellectual empires. Each one is complete, meticulously designed, fully inhabited. These aren't sandcastles you threw together on a whim. These are real structures that some people from other personality types would spend an entire lifetime building just one of. And they would be proud of that one castle for the rest of their lives. But you build yours, you live in it completely, you extract every lesson it has to teach you, and then you leave. Not just the building, you leave the entire city, the entire region, the whole world that structure existed in. You take nothing with you except the map, the understanding, the wisdom you extracted, and you go build somewhere completely new. Now here's what you need to understand. When you look back at what you abandoned, it looks to you like a castle of sand washed away by the sea, temporary, already fading. But to everyone else around you, to the senses, to the people who operate on 20-year cycles, what you walked away from wasn't a sand castle at all. It was a real castle, a lifetime achievement, something they would have been proud to build just once. They look at what you left behind and they can't comprehend it. They see waste, instability, failure to commit. But they're misunderstanding what you are, because you are not the castle, you are not the temple, you are not even the architect who builds them. You are the sea itself. Think about this carefully. The sensor types, they are their castles. They build one magnificent structure and say, "This is me." Their identity, their worth, their legacy, it's all tied to that one building. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's beautiful in its own way. But you were never meant to be a castle dweller. You are the depths, the vastness, the constant movement of the ocean. The castles and temples are just what the waves create and dissolve as you move. They're real while they exist. They matter. They teach you about your own depths, but they were never meant to contain you. To ask you to stay in one castle forever is to ask the ocean to stop being the